So, who would have guessed that Solaris versus Possum in the Waxing Moon Red Moon Waxing bracket would have gone to a game 3? Everyone thought this would happen. So, here we are, Solaris versus Possum, to see who goes into the final of the Red Moon Waxing. I'm Poidrag. I'm the first of your commentators today. Sycanaut is on our restream today with Zolde doing our tracking, and beside me, Softnum. Hype matchup today.
Yeah, looks like we've got some interesting stuff happening. Does look like we landed both Fabul Gauntlet and Golbez, which is as expected, but always disappointing to chat. But we do have the rare no Water Hag seed, I think, or at least no required Water Hag.
Well, not yet. We may have to fight it somewhere down the line. Who knows? But yeah, for Bull Gauntlet, Golbez, the chances of them not being in a Red Moon seed is so monumentally low. They're pretty much guaranteed. But it's the other bosses that could make it interesting. And today we've got Kunyatso, Valvalis, Elements, CPU, Wyvern, and the D-Lunars. Bit of a mix between hard ones and bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that if you would like to see people destroy Final Fantasy IV bosses, this is probably a good set. Kanazo, Valvalis, Elements, CPU, D-Lunars. There's a lot of fun to be had here.
And if you want to see a Final Fantasy IV bosses destroy players, you've got a good set here with Kunyatso, Wyvern, Valvalis to some extent, and Elements has done their fair share, and so has the D-Lunars.
Yeah, and we're off here. Getting started here, but yeah, I don't know, Solaris, Possum, I just don't know that they're going to ever have a lot of trouble if they can be prepared. Oh, and that Baron Key to start.
Baron Key in both of our tournaments, both sides of the tournament, Red Moon and Blue Moon, has been pivotal in a lot of cases. We're going to see that checked likely before we head underground, and we do have to go through the hook route. That is mandatory in the tournament. And Edge and Rosa, though, if you want any more of a power start, you're not going to be looking. You're going to be looking in for a long time. This is strong.
Yeah, I mean, I would almost think that this is close to a start I would like to see even over Fu. I mean, oh wow, and we're just gonna. Solaris is going to check the weapon shop in Baron. It's locked, so it can have a lot of good stuff. There's an assassin dagger, which can be useful. Oh,
and Garen, and already taken out Valvalis in the Mist Dragon and cave. That's actually really helpful, because Valvalis can be really dangerous in a lot of places. That one, not so much.
Well, and especially when you have an Edge, even an Edge that started with not much on him, that spot's just never going to be a problem for you. Oh, and a Cid in the Watery Pass here. So the wrong old man, but an old man nevertheless.
It never really do. When you've got an Edge start, it is a little bit redundant because you've got the power for the overworld right there. But it draws up a lot of late game issues that you might run into. So nothing too bad, and there's a kamikaze to go with him.
Yeah, and I can see a lot of cases where, with the start we've seen so far, he makes the party for the end game. There's a lot of setups here where I would take a Cid over, some mages.
Yeah, and Solaris, after buying that Archbow, goes a little bit into Mist Cave and finds a samurai bow.
For a hot second there, the way Solaris came into Mist here, I thought there was a package check going on and I was going to lose it, but he doesn't have package, so we're safe. But I just don't see runners enter Mist from that side if they don't have the package that often, so...
Yeah, doing a bit of shop checking, and Edge comes with a couple of short blades. It's in his starter equipment, but Solaris is saying, no, I think I want a little bit more than that, and is checking some shops. And this is 2 bosses in 2 checks.
Yeah.
Psychonaut has somewhere to be today.
So all that stuff we were saying before about how it was kind of cool that we had some hard bosses, well, Psychonaut kind of has done that in for us here.
And that Kamikaze doing exactly what he says his name is.
Yeah, there you go. And we're done. I'm not really sure how Edge got to be Rydia there, but... Oh! Okay, well, impossible to miss CPU there, then.
Yeah, we've still got a lot of things to go, but this is turning out really quick. If we have another couple of bosses up here, we could very well be on a chase for that darkness crystal, which is going to be gating the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, probably want to go check the rest of our characters. But man, I would be tempted. I would be looking at that hook real hard right now, even with the Baron key.
So, are we going to go 3 for 3? Possum is just about to find out. Yes. We are. I've got no words now. I literally have no words now.
Did something break? Like this seems statistically unlikely.
Is it every single boss is actually a required boss today?
There's a required bosses can't be on the moon flag that accidentally got turned on here, and they're all crammed down here. And yes, this chat's pointing out that was a good pop on the Grimoire for the Sylphs there. I know that Edge is named Rydia, but Edge isn't Rydia, so confused me for a second there. But that was a lucky pop. Kanazo is down. 3 of our fun bosses here already gone. We're gonna get a Fabul check.
Well, are we going to go 4 for 4? This is the big question at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess if you're a Possum here and you're staring at the seed and being like, well, okay, seed, I guess I will just kind of check everything.
That is a nice shop in Fabul, though. A Mute Dagger, one of Edge's best weapons, and a Thunderclaw, which you never mind seeing.
No, Thunderclaw ain't bad. Can help with some Odin, although Odin's probably going to be here, given the way the seat's gone. Even though it's not required. We'll see. Oh. So, Solaris has found Kanazo.
Possum is going to give us our check on Fabul, and it is... As soon as the last force in the race turns up.
It's a Sparkle. It's...
Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
This overworld is
Quick, I'm gonna check the rules to see if there's any conditions under which we can roll. Give me a second.
Unfortunately, no. As one of the people that helped set up the rules, no. This is just the randomness of the bosses.
Yeah, no, of course.
So this is... So we've got 4 bosses found so far. Is this going to be a run to 6 bosses beaten, and then the last one is going to be hidden behind a very, very large chain?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we've got the start of a fetch quest in that Baron Key, so we could have a really nice fetch quest for us. The other thing I was sitting here pondering for a second was, is this a seed where you want to find Eddie so that you can kill Z sooner? Is it going to be that fast?
It very well could be. If we find a pass and the other 3 bosses fairly soon,
Yeah.
it could be. There's a teller that could make things just as quick as well with a D machine grind if we get that darkness crystal.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't mind seeing Tella here. Tella, Rosa, Edge, Sid does not make the worst late game party at all.
Asura. Okay, Asura isn't on our list, so we have found a boss that isn't required.
And I don't think Solaris found the mute daggers yet.
He has not. He hasn't been
went to Fabul.
He has not. No. So Possum is going to get through this fight quite a bit quicker. But you're still having to go through, wait for the Life 1 phase to come up, because you don't really want to risk this fight taking longer just because of a random Cure 4 coming out at the wrong opportunity.
Yep. And that was not hard as we predicted. 5,000 damage out really quick.
Considering Asura only has 2,500 damage in that particular spot, the second one would have killed outright.
Oh, and we have some officers here. Hello, officers. I don't think you're going to be around much longer either. Although we haven't been able to back row Ed, or there is no back row here, so trying to go after the officer first is going to be, I mean, probably still do it, but a little bit hard.
Oh no, this is really just to kill the soldiers at the front, leave the officer. You don't need the experience at this stage. You've got three characters that are level 20. Rosa could do with a little bit more, but isn't required at this stage. Just get through that fight as quickly as possible, which is flame everything, and then let the officer run away.
Yeah, so welcome to Game 3, everybody. We have 4 semifinalists in the waxing bracket right now. You're seeing 2 of them, and this is Game 3. This is the decider here, and we are 4 bosses down in pretty short order. And there's a pan. So Solaris is going to probably end up fading that Fabul check for a while longer, I would imagine, but I will get back there eventually, so probably isn't a big deal.
Yeah, but it's not going to be too bad because D-Lune is in that spot, especially with an edge and flame, is not going to be dangerous. It'll be a one-shot and done, whereas Possum took a little bit longer to cast a Cure 2 on them.
Yep.
But overall, he's going to wait for a bit.
Yep. I almost feel bad for the tracker, because Tracker's going to have to pay close attention because he might miss it. Like, it's going to be that fast, so...
One, though, does bring a lot of key item checks, 3 of them, with the Bonkon Yang itself and the 2 items at Sheila. Considering we're probably looking for a pass or darkness crystal early, that's going to be checked very quickly once you get underground, I feel.
Yeah, could be. Kind of wondering... we're going to go get our other characters, looks like, here. But I'm kind of wondering, after Possum picks up whoever's hiding out in the Crystal Cave here, where you go next? Do you chase the Baron Key? Do you run the hook? There's a Yang.
And our Edward. Edward does bring in the well, Anna does bring in the Anna strats here.
Oh, bye, Eddie. Probably the choice I would have made too, just being honest, but could have been fun.
Yeah, it overall Yarn brings a lot more to the table later, but early on, Edward actually could probably give more.
Yeah.
Considering bows, arrows, while Yarn takes a bit to ramp up to get his actual power available.
Yeah, and you know, there's always that chance you find the spoon in your various checks, and then Eddie is probably better than Sid in this spot. So he might be a leg up if you keep him, but I admit I would be taking Yang 10 times out of 10 there, so. Some either ones, some alarms, which are not sirens, do not help. Obviously, sirens can't be.
And here we have another boss. Is this our Wyvern for boss number 5? That we did get peaked earlier, so this might have been 5 out of 5. No, that's good.
No,
we still got a little bit of time on our hands here.
Just a pretty straightforward Pale Dim fight there. But we'll see who's hiding behind Pale Dim. Oh no, just some Mylon or another. Ah, the new Mylon, not classic.
Mylon Z here, though, does tell us what is at Baron 1, because we had another purple robe there, so we know that is Mylon and friends. And our last character available is a Palom.
Ooh. That's an interesting... 2 white mages is always fun to have. And Tella, despite knowing white magic, doesn't really qualify as a white mage.
Well, Palom's a black mage, but...
oh, right.
We do need access to the warp spell. No, we don't. It's Red Moon. Never mind. I've got Blue Moon on the brain again. Access to black magic isn't really as required here. Yeah, some of them, there might be some split bosses that you get some benefit out of, but honestly, I don't see Palom really having a big impact.
No. I forgot it wasn't Porum. You probably don't take Palom here in any reality when you check Mysidia. The question really is Solaris check Mysidia. Which I have seen runners fade Mysidia altogether, so it is possible. But
yeah, he did get the characters from there. He took the Edward and then dropped the Edward for the Palom.
Huh. Curious. We'll see how it goes.
Could be just keeping. Could be keeping back that's Yang for getting levels through Slingshot in later. That is always a good opportunity to get him the power that he needs. But we'll have to wait to see. The Palom can do a lot of work with the tier 3 spells, so you can't discount him.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm not super worried about getting through the game necessarily. I mean, there's still some nasty things that can happen, but I think pretty much any setup you go with here, you're going to be pretty well off. And Possum doing the Baron check here, going to fight Mylon and classic Mylon here, friends.
Yeah, the Ghasts here might never get a absorb off today because flame.
Yep.
And then you just have to wait until Mylon decides he doesn't want to keep pressing the lit 1 button.
They're just doing his best Rydia impression here. Well, I guess fire isn't really. Casting fire, summoning the sylphs.
A flame could have been Ifrit or Jin, however you want to put it in Final Fantasy IV terms.
Yeah. Oh,
and
his body already.
Yeah, there goes Mylon. So, in terms of boss-wise, Possum is ahead in that, but Solaris has a little bit of extra item checks. But even that, I think, is sort of, well, there's a curse ring. I think that the mute dagger that was found by Possum sort of trumps a lot of the things that Solaris found extra.
And I missed. Okay, so we front-loaded roughly half the bosses. Missed obviously a few more checks, but doesn't seem like it's going to be quite as jetty as it was looking for a 4 out of 4 there.
We're still very early. We haven't even hit the 20-minute mark. We're halfway through our bosses. This could still turn out very, very quick.
That's fair.
Miss Dragon does represent a key item check herself, though, so that's likely going to be shown after this pretty lengthy cutscene to get out of Baron.
Yeah. And you can check, I mean, technically, you could still go mode before we get underground, because you could have a boss on Zot 1, and then technically both of your bosses could be Hook. And then technically we would be able to, not fight any underground bosses. But, yeah.
Now, who do we have blocking the walls today? Is that Anna and a guard?
Yeah, it was some generic guard. I couldn't really tell, unfortunately.
So, we've already seen 2 Annas. Where's the one that actually shows up in the fight? Wow.
Maybe we won't have that, or maybe we won't see that one today. Maybe it's on CPU too.
Possibly. And that was an amazing prize. Samurai arrows. Yeah, okay. I'll stop lying now.
I was gonna wait to see where you're going with this, but oh, Luca key. Almost found all of our keys, except for the one we can't find yet.
That's actually quite important. The Luca key it's a key item check, but most importantly, it's the boss check at the end of that. The boss at the end is a fair jaunt down there, but the boss, it's been one that has been required a lot of the time in this tournament, because no one really wants to go down there and do it. Let's face it, it's long check, you don't want to go, but it's still a chance that is your way to finish up this seed.
Yep. Awesome. About to get the news of Palom. I'm actually surprised that Possum didn't reset, but maybe we're gonna take it.
Well, you need to go through this because you need the hovercraft.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
it's like, no, Palom reset.
Yeah, and then you don't get a hovercraft and you go, wait, I sort of needed that. No Palom though. Oh, at the moment, Yang is set up to be the basis of all agility with that curse ring that he picked up in Baron Castle. Very nice find. And Solaris did miss that, so a little bit of an advantage on Possum's side, but Teller usually is a fairly competent tanker anyway.
Yeah. Plus, I don't see our runners having a problem finding a curse ring if they really want one.
Plus, there is also Sid that can and be a fairly good anchor. Find a dwarf axe. That's great for him. He's also got options. Awesome. He's also got options in the actual Tower of Wishes now. The Yarn in there comes at 8 base agility. The Edward not so is pretty quick, but still 9 at the start, manageable.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much most of the people that are really low level to start are at least serviceable anchors. We see that we want something. Maybe anything too great in here, but sirens.
Yeah, you sort of want those. Yeah, there's a Leviathan orb as well that you could buy if you wanted to give it to Rydia.
Yeah, you have a character named Rydia. That works, right? That's how that works, right? If you name them Rydia, they can summon. Yeah, no.
Maybe not under these flag conditions.
Wacky flag when, right? Oh!
Insert Spider-Man meme here.
Yep. And we didn't start with the Cecil to bop it, so
Yeah, so this is going to be Yang at the Rubicante spot is not hard considering how much hit points we've got, and the attack power isn't amazing there, but it's a fast spot, so you can't really discount how quickly the damage is going to come your way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident saying that this is probably going to be the hardest boss that they've fought in this seed yet, but that's just really the other bosses they found and where they were more than it is like Yang being a huge wall or anything. But yeah, not something you want to just take for granted.
Yeah, obviously we do have the King Queen Evelyn spot before that, and that is usually the hardest spot of the two because of how hard it hits. But you do need to remember that if it's a magical enemy there, you don't worry about it. It's only if there's a physical enemy here.
Yeah. The nice thing about the first spot too is it's not like the most hit points in the world. Oh! Yeah, a sparkle. Oh! A plague.
You... It isn't terrible.
I mean, you can always, knock down the old man, raise him back up, kind of get away with that a little bit. Looks like we're just gonna try and speed through it.
I'm not too certain if Edge can.
We did. Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought we had Virus Plague. Okay.
No, this is just trying to make sure that we have some way of getting the count restarting. The counting in this original game aim does refresh when it's recast, so that counter will go back to 10. If it's cast.
Come on. Plague.
There it goes.
Plague. Hello. You're lying. Okay. We're probably good on this.
We are now. It's one hit away from defeat. The Edge is going to be able to finish this up. Heck, Virus might do it actually. Give Teller his dues. There we go.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't too bad. I do want to mention I love that Plague casts fast because it doesn't actually work. It doesn't actually make the timer go any faster, even though that was the whole idea of having Plague cast fast. But...
It actually does.
Oh, does it? I had always
Yes,
heard that it didn't
it
actually do what it's supposed to.
it does, but because of the way the ATB works, it doesn't seem like it does. If it really is only effective if you have abnormal agility.
Fair enough.
So yes, it does work. It just doesn't work as was intended originally.
Fair enough. And we have Yang here. Doesn't appear to be being super duper hard for us here, but still getting blinked up, still taking our time. Solaris is running. There's a Dwarfax. That's kind of a nice find, really.
Oh, he hasn't got that at Curse Ring. The Dwarfax works just well, really, with that Sid as an anchor. The other thing that was sort of picked up in there, Zeus Gauntlet in one of the chests went immediately onto Edge. He's going to be hitting quite hard now. I believe the other one, according to chat, was a Protect Ring, and the first one was a Protect Ring, which is really good defensive equipment for some. Considering you have to have people on the front lines, and you don't really have any heavy armor users that you want to put there, that could be handy.
Yeah, I will never turn down a Protect Ring if I find it. I also want to make the. Oh yeah, Rydia can equip the Zeus Gauntlet joke, but that was the wrong side. So.
And the last one was an Excalibur because, of course, there's no Cecil in here, so there's a Holy Sword. But at least this one, you can dart at things.
Yep. You can't not just sail fodder like the other one. Why would you sell the crystal sword?
Because you can't throw it. Solaris does have a cursed ring in their inventory, so that actually makes their sort of anchoring even easier. Yes, Sid with a Dwarfax is okay, but Sid with a Dwarfax and a cursed ring, you don't worry about it anymore, ever.
Yeah. It looks like Possum. Yeah, okay, there we go. Possum got through the fight, as we kind of predicted. Not the easiest fight, but also not one that gave Possum any problems. I don't think you'd get here if you were going to have a problem with that fight. So, really good display of skill. Everybody got blinked up. Kamikaze's on the ground, but that's how that's supposed to be.
Yeah. Vitella did get hit a couple of times onto the floor, but you expect that with how low hit points he has. And the Yang does hit for something like 350 in that spot. So
yeah, old man needs to take a nap sometimes. It just kind of is what happens.
I believe that was a blue robe up the top, or was it?
I missed.
Or was that Golbez? Or it could have been Leviathan's purple. So I think that's that's either Golbez or a 1/2 of a chance of all Gauntlet.
Yeah. So I guess if you were looking to see Anna, then we do have the tower key.
Possum is just stopping though, but as you said, we've got the tower key. If it was required up there, yeah, he's going to go up there and do the entire tower.
Yeah. Looks like that's what we get ready to do here. Not a play I would make, but I'm not as good as these players. So I would be doing something easier because I'm, less skilled. But I can't disagree with the choice here. Go up.
I'm a big fan of doing this straight away if you feel you can do it. If you have the tower key, if you don't, it's a little bit more dubious. But if you got the tower key, you believe you can win the top fight, and get through this. You change over airships. You don't have to worry about doing that again, and it clears this out, which is a fairly long walk up and down.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a way you do this if you're not holding the tower key. And we're gonna go bottom up. Let's see who we have. And it's a Sparkle. And
it's one of two, and it's the one we don't want. Well, actually, no one wants Ogopogo in this spot.
Yeah. Although I did want to point out, Possum lowering his battle speed was a good call, because if it was Wyvern here, and we knew that there was a pretty good chance it was, then that lowered battle speed would let you get off, possibly get off a Starveil before Blarg happened. I mean, you might have.
Yeah, and that spot does have a fairly okay magic score, or compared to some others, mostly because there's the Dark Imps that are there in your vanilla playthrough don't have any magic, so they don't cast anything, so they just up this score just for the heck of it.
Well, the default setting on programmable memory chip is 1, not 0, so kind of makes sense in that context that they're just like, fill it with 1s. Which is a high number. Except for when it's not.
So yes, the next Sparkle we see, if we see it, will be Wyvern, and that is guaranteed now. We've faced every other moon boss, and this is a blue robe. Is it the one that is not an objective today? Or is this the Gauntlet of Trials? This is the Gauntlet.
It's the Gauntlet. And having Tella here for this Gauntlet's gonna help out a lot.
No. Actually, no. There's a very big reason why this isn't really going to be helpful for anything. Stonemen don't care about spells, for one, and then the rest of the spells I was coming on. Well, they do care about ice. Okay, but the fights here aren't actually that dangerous, and the other half of it is that because of these fights, the alerts here, you don't get as much experience here in through the 5 fights as you would normally with just one fight, with one boss. So you're actually not going to get as much experience at all.
Uh-oh, you got a Chimera.
Unless you want to fight extra bosses with the alerts, but no one wants to do that.
Not here, anyway. Maybe on the Giant we do, but... Oh, Tella, you tried. Tella.
Is Possum Chimera grinding? It seems that way.
I
don't think he's meant to be.
HP ran out, so yeah.
Lois is also running up the top of tower. Is he going to stop off at the... Nope, he's going straight up to the gauntlet that we know is there now. We'll stop off at Ogopogo on the way down.
Yeah, I know that I almost always run this top down. Part of it is my fingers always want to go up, and part of it is just like I always want to do the harder fight first, even though that doesn't make any sense.
Two Chimeras to finish off. So we've had 4 chimeras in this particular fight night today. Not for want of seeing them, but going underground, underground, where the dwarfs all sing and the dwarfs all shout lally ho.
We have a complete keyring.
We do.
All of our keys. We don't have any jewelry, any fancy jewelry, but we have our entire keyring settled, which is great.
No one's checked the Baron, the Odin throne at Baron Castle, which is a little bit of a shock because we're not really looking for too many bosses now. We've got 3 on the table that we can do, 2 of them required to get the crystal.
Yeah, I was actually yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that it wasn't actually checked.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I expected one of our runners to at least face check it. If it seemed mean, you could always reset out.
So that's 3 down for Solaris. He's got 2 more fights. Oh, sorry, 2 down for Solaris. 3 more fights. This first one being an alert, then the flan type enemies, and then the double chimeras, which seem to be showing up a lot more than you expect today. And I missed the key item on Possum's side, but from the looks of the tracker, we can go and heal a piggy now.
Yep, we got our first piece of jewelry, the saddest piece of jewelry, but it's still there. And we have the most efficient Yang check, so that's always good. It always feels good when you come down here with the pan. Oh, hey!
And speaking of jewelry, that's a pretty important piece of jewelry there.
So do you think we come back underground? I guess we're gonna go check the fate marks. That makes sense. But
if we've got a, we check all the bosses here because we're 2 down from actually finishing up. From having go mode, we've got to check all the bosses now.
Yep. Yeah.
Going underground, underground, where the dwarfs all sing and the dwarfs all shout lally ho. Sorry, had to do it again because we did get the magma key twice.
Hey, you're fine. Oh look, some coffins. Those are useful sometimes.
Coffins? I'll take 4. Or I would if I'll take 3 instead because I don't have enough for 4.
Yeah, I mean I'm not gonna buy 10 of them, but a couple.
We've also got 8 key items. This is
It's a very awkward number.
It is an awkward number, but it's close enough that you want to get them, get the other 2. You've got everything you need to finish up. To actually finish the seed now. You've got the darkness crystal. You're looking for 2 bosses, sure. Oh, but you know where sirens are. You've got coffins available. You've got everything you can sort of work with to get to the end. That 10 key items just makes it a little bit quicker to get through your grind.
Yeah. And you'll, at this point, it feels like you're gonna eventually get to 10 key items, probably. But it would be nice to get there sooner rather than
Arctic wines.
Oh,
those things, yeah, you want those.
Yeah, we're gonna sell some more of our garbage.
Don't have a lot of money. Just enough for 2 Barkus wines. Possum has not done a whole lot of grinding, and it's sort of biting him in the wallet right now not having that much money. Solaris is going to be able to buy a lot more.
So
but you don't really need a whole lot when you've got Berserk casters. So those 2 might just be enough.
Yeah. And it's not super hard to come back here and buy some more if you really need to. Also, I would say at this point, Possum seems to be fading Luca.
And Dwarf Castle.
And all of Dwarf Castle, yes.
I think he's doing this just for the key item check. It's because he's got 8. If both of these are key items, that's 10. You get extra experience from everything left.
Yep.
There's 1.
Oh, there's 1.
There's 2.
Oh, there's 2.
So 10 key items. Straight up, exactly what he wanted. Dwarf now gives double experience, so 40,000 roughly on both fights instead of the normal 20. Means he has to do less in the way of grinding with sirens because he hasn't got that much money. He can't buy additional sirens really that much. So he's going to have to make do with what he's got.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if we'd come back here and check Throne. I mean, I'd be tempted to check Package, too, as close as we are to bosses. It's a long check, but, it's like 2 moon cutscenes.
And while Possum is up on the overworld, he's going to check this boss. I don't think he's going to fight it if it isn't required, but he wants to know what is here. That's the walls that it's not particularly bad in that spot. It's a fast spot, but it doesn't hit the hardest, so it's not bad. You just don't want to fight it.
Solaris did find a full moon in the weapon shop at my brain doesn't work. That's cool.
Say much.
Thank you. I'm like, I couldn't even get out the land of the summoned monsters, which is where my brain was trying to go. But so we will not see what Mom Bomb or Antlion are holding today yet.
I don't think we're going to go back for them. Honestly, I think this seed is going to finish before we before we have to go back for them.
Well, I think actually
there's two key items that gate bosses, Twin Harp and the Earth Crystal. It'll be very, very unlikely if they're both behind those bosses. That being said,
a skull chance that is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Possum is counting steps.
Oh, hey! I haven't seen one of these in a while. I think it's just like what I've decided to play and watch, but I haven't seen a demo.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he actually turned encounters on, because there's one. That took a while.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But yeah, he's counting steps. He's checking to see what encounter he lands on, because that will tell him if he's going to go and fight, where he's going to fight his DE money encounter. And he believes he's got a good step route for this, and he's on his way to the giant next. Considering 2 bosses left to do and still a number of checks, everything on the moon, the 2 new Dwarf Castle encounters, the Luca Key encounter, you want your levels. And Possum doesn't have enough money to buy a whole load of sirens, so this actually makes a lot of sense to go and do this rather than siren grind. He prefers doing in eggs, Possum does, but you sometimes have to just make do with the tools that you got. And changing over Sid for Palom at this stage, yeah, perfectly agreeable. You're going to go and do money to get a whole load of experience. Getting Palom to nuke, exactly what you want. It's free and free kills, 3 life glitches, you're done. It's very quick. Meanwhile, Solaris is having the same idea and choosing eggs. Had a little bit more money, able to get a little bit more, or in the way of things to eggs to grind up. So there he goes. That's his first one. We'll have to see how far he wants to go with this. So, as we go into our little grind session, I suppose this is a great time to shout out everyone, our runners, Possum, Morpheus, Solaris, 2 of the workshop helpers on the Discord, or 2 very interactive community members as well. They do they get in, they get into conversations with everyone about anything from off-topic things to game theory, so feel free to chat them up. There's our restreamer, Psychonaut, our tracker, Zolde, myself, Softnum. Feel free to give us all a follow if you want. We don't mind. It's completely up to you. And yeah, just feel free to jump in, join in, do stuff.
Yeah. For sure, and I'm sorry, Bodrak, I've been talking to the mute button for a little bit here.
I noticed.
I swear I was saying things, just like, oh, he's ignoring me. Okay, but yeah, no, come join us. This is one of the nicest and most accepting communities you will find on the internet, and I'm not actually saying that lightly. This is extremely, nice, friendly. The free enterprise is easy to get started. There's always people to help. There's always people to debug seeds. Sometimes you ask for help in a seed and you get almost too much help. But it is great. Everybody come join us. It is a lot of fun. Game's pretty easy. We have flags that are easier, flags that are harder. Something for everybody is here. So...
Yeah, the fights themselves at this stage, for Solaris, the eggs, to start off with, Sid, Edge was doing a little bit of damage. Edge with, I believe, the Assassin Dagger, being able to reliably initiate the swoon aspect of the Assassin Dagger. Now that Palom's got quite a bit of power behind him, he's going to be casting Quake or Virus to get through these one by one. Possum going to use damage on the Searcher to summon a D machine. Tello is going to cast Weak. Someone's going to kill it, and then life glitches to get that up and running. And because of the way A is working, it seems that he's getting double life glitches as well.
Yep. And so, since we're going to be here a little bit, for those of you who don't know, the life glitch is that life actually works on enemies as well as your party members. The way it's programmed in the game, which is that you get recovered with 5 times your stamina and hit points. The problem is that the monsters all have 0 hit points. Or 0 stamina, and so they're revived with 0 hit points. And so what actually happens is that they come back to life, and then the game checks, and they're dead again. So you actually get credit, though, for the experience, and I believe the gold, even though nobody uses it for that. That happens there. So, and sometimes if you have it set up really well, you can actually cast life, or cast ice, and then queue up a couple lives. And if your timing is great, you can actually get a double life glitch, which is great.
Yeah, life glitching does, as you said, gives you double experience. It also doubles the money that you get from it. Also doubles the chance of an item from it. So there's a lot of good with the life glitch. But Possum is saying, I'm done. I've got enough experience, and he's got enough experience. Everything is go. It's just he's got to go find the
46
two bosses.
Left, so that should be pretty comfortably real good.
Yep, that puts him up. Puts Palom up to 56.
Yeah.
Solaris is also done with his grind, so they're finishing at roughly the same time, and got roughly the same things left to do. So Solaris is going to go and do Dwarf, while Possum is going to check the bosses up on the Giant. So there is a bit of a divide here. If one of these places has stuff and the other doesn't, advantage them, really, because they've done pretty much everything else that the other person has done.
Yeah, I think this is going to end up coming down to where the rest of the bosses end up, kind of rando type of thing, because, Solaris is, has already made it back to Fabul, obviously. So, well,
advantage Solaris.
There's a Blarg.
And a reset
Octomom.
from Possum. Yeah, not doing Octomom. No real need there. Honestly, I can see why. You've got to get through 65,000 and 65,000 hit points, and Octomom there doesn't hit especially hard, but he's fast.
Yep. And there's just not, you can fade one boss, you have to kill 7 of 8, and so, you'll never be extremely required to know what's on the second giant spot.
To answer your question, Jay Brunter, no, he didn't. So there's Odin as well. So it's really, where does Possum go next? Does he go to the Giant and forgo these checks down here, or does he go up to the moon and forgo these checks down here? Doesn't look that way with the way he's exiting now.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna circle back and do so. Neither of them have done Luca. We've had the key for a little bit, but neither of them have done that. But yeah, it looks like Possum's just gonna be right on Solaris's tail with an extra check, which
Possum has also checked the Baron Basement Throne. So he's got 2 checks ahead of Solaris, but Solaris has 2 bosses ahead. 2 boss defeats against ahead of Possum. That's it.
A rune.
Sid could use it if both characters had Sid. And yeah. Wyvern is not getting and Mega
We're
Nuke off. Palom is
We're gonna
saying,
blarg the blarg.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
it's my iBlog now.
Okay. Possum has already won in my heart. I'm sorry. That was great.
Laris checking the Lucky Keep makes sense. He's preparing to go to the moon, and we need one more boss. We go check this.
Yeah. I expect Possum to do exactly the same thing. So, just go to Luca.
I fully expect Solaris to go and check the Baron basement throne as well, before going up to the moon. I don't think he'll go to Giant at this stage because it's one boss required, and if you find the boss up on the moon, you just walk down to Zeromus.
Yeah. Chat pointing out that neither of them have done package. Package is looking a lot less good for our runners here because, like Podrick just got done saying, you have one boss left. You're like one boss, so we can go, oh, hey, music.
That could keep Solaris on. Yeah, that could keep Solaris on the overworld a little bit longer.
Yeah, I bet he goes and checks basement, and then I bet he's off to do Twin Harp.
Nope, he's not even bothering. And Possum is just ignoring that and heading straight to the moon. So Possum is going to be the first one to be face checking the moon. Solaris, where do you go? Are you going to be right behind? You are. You do have a cutscene to raise the lunar well, but you're not going to be too far behind Possum here.
No. Looks like gonna go see who's in Cape Bahamut.
Yeah, this is going to be a top-down play because as you're face checking, this is going to be top-down pretty much constantly. You don't want to leave anything behind, which could be the fight you need. So Cave Bahamut, Pale Dim Altar, and then further down.
That was so quick I didn't even see what it was, but it's clearly not required since Possum. So.
Yeah, Possum is very quick on the eyes. He sees trash, he runs away from it. Sorry, runs to it.
Yeah, as I say, he's a Possum. But that wasn't trashy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I'd be tempted to go bottom up and save a save outside. Just because you know you're going to have to do that walk. I'm not going to swag walk no matter what, so I'd like to go back and save. So, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. If you need key items, you go down to the bottom. But because we don't need key items, we're looking for bosses. You go top down. You make sure you check everything that you need to check. This is a very out of the way check, so you don't want to come back to do this one if this is the one thing you need. It's still quick enough that you can do this before getting down to the bottom. And considering it's Golbez, you want to do this fight.
Or I'm deciding to poison the counterparty.
Yeah, this is just to make sure that the hold spell does not affect, and Possum has full reign to be able to do pretty much anything once the Shadow Dragon has eaten 3 characters and then retreated. So there goes Palom. There goes Rosa.
We're gonna eat all the cast. Oh, Vigor's Edge.
I hate to say this, but they're all casters.
Okay. Okay.
Edge has his own black magic. Yang's a punch mage.
I was gonna say, if we're counting Yang as a punch mage, I suppose, but Yang does not actually have a magic menu. Unlike I think everybody else in the game. Somebody gets said maybe
He does. He has a magic menu. It's called attack.
Maybe Peep is magic.
Here come the Lich Free. He's the other spells by Golbez. Yeah, you can try and get people up at this stage, but honestly, you don't need the experience. So Golbez is just going to help Yang finish Golbez off.
Yeah. There's no sense in using Yang's turns that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not trivial to get everybody back.
Yeah. Solaris has seen in Golbez, reset out, prepared himself accordingly.
And it's going back.
And now is, yes, going back. Venom that Possum did in the fight works. Also, any other status does, such as Mini.
Or Piggy. I bet we have some pigs too. Look
We
at them
do.
beautiful pigs.
We did go and heal the piggy.
That's what we could change the Sand Ruby to do. It could cast Piggy when used as an item.
One crystal now in hand or foot.
And a
Or
pigtail.
It's in there. Pinktail, we're not going to go and find out what that is.
Oh no, certainly not.
Possum has one direction to go, and that is down.
I don't actually remember what the pigtail pool consisted of exactly, but I'm not even sure you'd get something you would use most of the time.
It's a tier 7 or tier 8 item, so most likely with no Cecil in the party, it's a crystal sword. But you could get a Excalibur, a Masamune, a Avenger, a defense sword.
Yeah,
Pretty
but like
a lot of the things that aren't really useful. The only thing that could be useful is possibly a white shirt or a Masamune.
yeah, the Masa or the white shirt, I think, is the only things that you're really happy to see here.
But you don't go down just for that 1 in 9 chance.
Nope.
You've got other places to be.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. No. There's no way. Not in the semifinals on the winner's side of the Red Moon bracket here. But I mean, Solaris is not what I would really typify as far behind here. Like,
Absolutely not. Possum has the advantage for sure, but we've all seen the Roman fight go pear-shaped in some way. Possum has one of those really in hand. If he, well, maybe less than that. If it does go bad, Solaris is right there.
Yeah, the only thing I could see is if, and we checked already, so it's unlikely, but the party gets misconfigured and you have to reset out to set it, then we're even, I feel like.
Possum's set up with a cursed ring on that teller in the center looks good. We'll wait and see until we actually have the true answer to that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of mistakes you can make with this party either. I'm thinking things like leaving the event on Sussex and something like that.
Considering we don't have either, that's
exactly.
a little hard to do.
Exactly.
But we have been talking about Zeromus and this next fight because, well, we're at the final boss. Zeromus doesn't move. Over the final boss, Zeromus does not move. we've just given him a bit of a makeover because he doesn't like to stay the same. He likes to change.
He felt left out when he wasn't.
Yeah.
We want everybody to be included.
Yeah. So, what do we ask? We ask, in the name of the moon, we shall punish who?
I like that one. I think I'm gonna steal that.
Feel free.
It like rhymes. It like rhymes and everything. It's great.
Plus, it's a Sailor Moon reference. Who
Right,
doesn't like those? So, Crystal is thrown. Who do we have behind that mask?
What are his true colors?
Englishmas.
I don't know who that's supposed to be. I am ignorant of this thing.
I
It seems to have a butt. I can't tell if that's a hat or if it's like part of his coat. And it's not cute. This is I'm gonna go ahead and put that one in here. That is not a cute Zeronis today.
Yeah, Lord English from Homestruck. I've seen this a number of times, but I can never. I honestly don't place it. It feels like something from Samurai Pizza Cats.
It does, actually. That is. Would never have thought of that, but now that you've said it, I can't unsee it. So that's good. I like that one. And we have some nuking and some whiting, and
yeah,
we have angry boys.
Yeah, we're already halfway through this fight.
I know.
Palam's doing stuff. Rosa's doing stuff. Young's punching, and Kane's swinging swords. The first Big Bang hasn't even come out yet. Edge isn't actually doing anything because after those first few punches, Yang is now down, and the reason for that is Possum has been counting damage and is hoping to miss out on the hit point refresh, which once you get down to something like 46,000 and damage, Zeromus will heal himself back to full health. So you have to go through it again. But if you do reflected spells like Nuke or White, you have the they don't initiate that particular script, so you don't see that happen, and you kill him.
Yeah, and in fact, they never triggered this, because if they did, you could get in a loop.
Yeah, it's a little bit more dangerous to do it this way because it's a lot more precise. But if you can do it, it works.
It is much faster. But, it also requires Nuke and White casters to be that faster. And it looks like we are down, so GG's to Possum Morpheus with an official race time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 15 seconds. And we will see if we will be talking to his trashiness here.
Very quick seed, but then again, that's what you get when you have four required fights in 4. Isn't that right, Possum?
Oh, hey, that's me. Hi, y'all.
Yes, it is. Hello. GG's.
So we've got to talk about that. First 4 fights searched 4 bosses.
Yeah, 7 minutes and 11 seconds in, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I've got 4 bosses done. Now what? They need to slow down because I wasn't prepared mentally for 1200 tracks after doing Fu and Friends the race before. But yeah, it's okay. Here we are.
Smoothed out a little bit after that, but still very quick. race overall, wasn't it?
Yeah, so like the design philosophy on these was like 75 to 90 minutes. This was a little on the quick side. Part of that was the combination of edge, some very accessible bosses, a 10 key item showing up really fast as well, frankly, for the flag set. Normally you don't have that happen. It was just kind of a confluence of events that drove this even lower than the intended time goal, if you will. But I'd also like to think that some of that goes to me and Solaris, like being really good runners, and GG's to Solaris. I know that we're very, very close on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
You guys
and
are-
it sounded from talking, he was actually ahead by a check. I think he peaked Luca and might have had a reset on Golbez as well from talking to him. So I think he was objectively ahead, and I really need to watch back and glean some information from this.
Mostly, you were sort of neck and neck. You had a little bit of an advantage on a couple of checks, but Solaris skipped those. You were doing your grind at the same time. You doing D Machine, he doing a few eggs because he had a little bit more money than you did. But he finished. You finished about the same time. But since you were up on the giant and he was down the underworld, he was able to get to that wyvern quicker than you did.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was too broke. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you definitely were, and he wasn't because he did Ebon Castle, so he had enough stuff to sell to get more of the sirens. But really, the difference really is just that one Luca check. I mean, that's you can see that it's a minute 30. That's that's that. So you're right. It was more of an ordering and just sort of the way that everything fell instead of you guys were really, really close. It was a great show, it really was.
I'm glad we put on a good show. That's, result regardless. A good show is what we really aim for. So, very happy we were able to do that and entertain everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, final.
Yeah. Feels good, man.
Yeah. Not the easiest time to get to it this time. I'm compared to some other tournaments, the last tournament, and this one was a little bit more tough. But
yeah, I mean, so up until facing Solaris, and this is no disrespect at all to Plumerian or Ikir, but up until Solaris, Mike in the first round was the scariest opponent I had faced. It was the closest match. And outside of him kind of having an issue with a grind, we were like neck and neck basically heading into Zeromacer. And that was a matchup I was terrified of because I knew that he was willing to do whatever it took to win. And like against Plumeria and Ikir, I felt more comfortable, but still not easy whatsoever. Like I know both of them and they're both incredible runners. But like getting to Solaris is a different level altogether. Very stressful match, very difficult. And not to take anything away from the folks who I faced in, Adamant Cup, which, a laundry list of amazing runners as well. But just a couple months have passed since that. And everybody has gotten so much better in these past couple months. Any bit of perceived advantage that I may have had going into this thing, like I feel is gone. Like this is a crapshoot. I know there's some names that, have gotten through that you'd expect, myself, Solaris, Dekar, Rybon, Pyre, etc., all kind of cluttering that top portion, and you'd expect that, but it hasn't been easy for anyone. They've been really difficult matches. I'm just looking forward to what this spring tournament has. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. And the rest of this tournament.
Yeah. Get that spring tournament. We do need to finish this one. You're into the final. I'm sure you'll be watching the match later between Rybon and Pyre with bated breath. I think we can only say good luck.
I'll need it.
Well,
they're both really good.
Yeah, and really what you're going to end up playing for, right, is something like 4 weeks off. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if that's like an advantage.
It's not. No, so in double elimination things that I've done in the past, and in events that I follow, Rocket League is a game I'm hugely invested in, and love it and play it all the time, more than for Enterprise actually, which might strike some as odd. But the double elimination thing, when you have teams making a run through the lower bracket or the waning bracket, as you call it, those teams are warmed up, right? They're still in their element. They're still performing at a high level. They don't have that massive break being in the winners final. And so if you go from, the second place of the top bracket, if you will, down to that lower, that time off, oh, you really can fall out of form in a hurry. And it is a documented thing in these types of events with double elim. So it's something that I'm really terrified of. Like, if I lose in the finals, there's a really, really good chance I'm going to lose in the waning bracket. And that's just kind of the nature of the double elimination beast. Kind of going a little bit, beyond just the free enterprise spectrum on this.
Well, they do say it's competition form.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Just sort of an interesting, like, sometimes you might think that that's good, but I completely agree. Like, if you're not facing the type of competition you're used to, it just gets rusty just naturally.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is, we still have private, races that we do all the time with, Solaris, myself, Martin Broadcloak, Pankraz, even though he's not in a tournament, still kicking our butts every day. He was focused on Lufia 2, where he put in a heck of a show, and made the finals in that event, because why wouldn't he? He's just that good. So, always have the opportunity to stay fresh against the best of the best. So, if I do lose in the finals, which I hope I don't, but if I do, that competition will still be there. It's just a matter of focusing on it still over that time off.
I suppose, again, good luck for the next race. We'll let you run away and get over this hour, 10-minute seed. Maybe wipe the sweat from your brow. And we'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you very much, Poydrak and Softnum for the comms. Thank you, Zald, for the tracking, and Psychonaut for the seed. Super big thank you for the YAML not deciding on a third Fusoya. That was very welcome. We did not want that. So the edge was very refreshing. But I'll see y'all next week. And everybody have a fantastic evening. Once again, huge GGs to Solaris. Love you, buddy. You're the best.
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go.
Yeah, I think we were going to say the same thing. So Solaris has declined an interview with us tonight, so we will catch up with him in the waning brackets in the future. And I think that pretty much wraps us up. We are going to proceed to go to RPG Limit Break to see Zoe versus Beauty. Now, everybody remember your newspapers. No spoilers about this race. It's very, very, lots of people are going to want to see it live. So no spoilers. We need it. And thank you to Podrak for comsing with me. Thank you for Psychonaut for making us look good. Thank you for Zald for doing the same thing. All the people that work behind the scenes to make us, blather here for, only an hour, but usually two. It's really great to come here. Follow my commentary partner, Podrak. You can follow me if you want, but I never stream, so.
I'm pretty sporadic on this as well, but yeah, enjoy your evening, everyone. We'll see you again very soon.
Yep, goodbye.